Hi, good evening. My name is Miss LaQuisha Robinson, and I will be presenting my field of interest presentation. I am going to be looking over to my right at my laptop as I read the questions, just to make sure that I'm responding in the order that it lists. Also, I'm a little under the weather, so please excuse my voice if I appear to sound a little raspy. All right. Nonetheless, here we go. So I am actually majoring in elementary education to become an elementary school teacher. And my target population, or what I would say is the children that I would love to work with are specifically K2. I see these babies as most vulnerable. Some of them don't come from Head Start, early Head Start. They're coming straight from just home or just TV and stacks all day, straight to school, and they're in, I would say, an uncontrolled environment to a controlled environment, or they're coming from all these different backgrounds, and just to be able to work with these children would be my absolute pleasure to do so. Additionally, I would love to work with specifically first or second grade. I'd love to become a first or second grade teacher. Question number 3 says to provide details regarding my field of interest. So I was actually a former TA at an elementary school back here at home a couple years ago, and I had the absolute pleasure of working with exceptional children. So what that looked like, the beginning of my day, I worked with children K2. During the middle of the day, I worked with 3rd graders and some 4th. And then after lunch and encore, I worked with some other 4th graders and 5th as well. And there were a lot of days I wish I had more authority in the classroom. Nonetheless, I'm here seeking my degree, and I would love to become a teacher. All right. So the next one asks to explain responsibilities in educational level that a social worker needs to work in this setting. So, of course, they would need a bachelor or master's degree in social work. And of course, as responsibilities, just really offering that student support with them, crisis prevention, if the students are going through any life challenges, their family, it might be a fire, getting displaced from home, food insecurities, anything, you name it. The social worker really being support. I would say, or guidance counselor or whomever for the child. You never know what type of need that they're have, but us being in our roles, it should definitely be easy to identify what our role is and what we can do to help as a teacher or social worker. Okay, next, personal reasons for wanting to work in this setting. So without getting too into detail, actually my son is in kindergarten and my daughter is in 1st grade now. So with me having my own babies in elementary school, they actually lost their father 5 years ago. They were both infants at the time. Well, my son was an infant. He was only a few weeks old, but my daughter was 1. So she was a toddler then. But if there was to ever be a situation where my son or daughter needed to rely on a staff for emotional, social support, someone to talk to or something like that, I would be at 100% relieved to just know that there's a staff that is there to support my son and my daughter. and not to just even put this on my own too, but being as a former TA, seeing this firsthand as students who need someone to talk to that probably, I wouldn't say don't want to talk to their parents, but sometimes some things they prefer to share with someone else that they built a relationship with. All right. So that's a personal reason for me, whether I'm a social worker or a teacher or a mom, just all in one, all in one. I would love to have, I would love to be able to provide or be able to give extra support to these children. I was going to say to these babies, thinking about my own, but you never know what type of love that they're getting outside of school, and just knowing that I can be there it makes a difference for me. Okay. Number 6, identify and explain social work values related to the target population. I just touched on this a tad bit when I just said providing that emotional support, so emotional and social support with them. If they're going through anything, I can name any example, but if they're going through anything, just as a social worker, helping them navigate through whatever it is that they're going through, whether it's pulling them out for 10 or 15 minutes a day, going over affirmations with them, asking them how their day was, asking them things like, hey, if I brought you lunch, what's your favorite lunch? Favorite fast food? And they say, I would love to have Chick-fil-A. Something like that to make their day. And I've seen that firsthand as well. So just demonstrating some of those values early on, just to know that those children are cared about. Right. And some quick statistics about, sorry, I put this on a document for myself to read. Some quick statistics in this setting. I just put K2 because that's what I specifically wanted to work with. So about 1 in 6 children are diagnosed with mental, behavioral, or developmental disorders. Unfortunately, and this doesn't mean that the child has an IEP. Some of the things that the children are going through may not be in writing, it may not be documented.